Welcome back to ESA Summer 21. We are raising money for Save the Children. My name's MOD366 or Mod for short, and I'll be your host for the next 3 runs. Links to donate can be found below the stream or by typing !donate into the chat. We would also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. Now it's time for Uncle Slam running Pac-Man 99. Slam it!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I am Uncle Slam, this is Pac-Man 99, and joining me on commentary, I have some lovely people. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves to the awesome people watching right now?
Hello, my name is Dan, and I'll be one of your commentators for today.
Hello, my name is Captain Meng, and I'm also going to be one of the co-commentators today.
All right, so we have a lot to get into with this, so I'm just going to hop into it. So 3, 2, 1, let's jam. All right, so this is Pac-Man 99. It essentially gave Pac-Man the same treatment that Tetris 99 gave Tetris. So there are going to be a lot of similarities between this game and the original Pac-Man, such as if Pac-Man hits a ghost, that's game over. And since it's a battle royale, we don't have lives, so we're just out. If he eats a power pellet, they'll all turn blue and we can eat them just fine. Simple, basic stuff like that. Like, those are the two most obvious similarities, but you've also got some other things they had to change to make this work as a battle royale. And one of the first ones you'll see is the addition of white jammers. Now, in a little bit here, you'll see them pop into screen, but essentially what they are is white, kind of like ghost versions of Pac-Man, that if Pac-Man touches any of them, they'll slow him down. Looks like one's, in the lower left corner right there, one just got sent. So at the start of the game, they will be completely stationary, but as we move along through this, they'll start moving. So watch out for that. And the way you send jammers is that you need to build ghost combos. So by eating the power pellet, you can eat a bunch of ghosts in a row, and the longer that combo gets, the more jammers you send to other people. Oh, Clyde, please cooperate. Thank you. Do any of you guys want to cover the sleeping ghosts?
Alright, let's get it up here. Actually, man, can you take this for me real quick?
Yeah, of course. What you're going to see on our 2 columns on the left side and the right side of the ghost houses, these are sleeping ghosts. There are about 8 of them, I believe, that Pac-Man
8 on each side.
Eat. And as Pac-Man goes through them and eats them, they awaken the ghosts, and they attach themselves to one of the 4 main ghosts. And that's how you can activate these quote-unquote sleeping ghosts.
And you might notice that, I'm trying to do my best to clear all the pellets in the area, and every time you do that in a round, you get a speed boost. So right here, that does not include the power pellets, by the way. It's right here, I've only got this section up here left. So once I eat the last pellet above there, you see it said speed up, and my speed level on the left side of the screen rose to 1, going up from 0. So oftentimes you'll see me try to clear all the pellets on a round, and right there I just switched rounds by eating the cherries. So every time you eat a fruit, you will advance to the next round, and think of the rounds as the different mazes in Pac-Man. So this would be maze number 2, where we get the strawberry instead of the cherries. Yeah, so you'll see me advance using those quite frequently. Also, we should talk about these guys that have just started to spawn. These are red jammers. And they're kind of like white jammers in that they'll try to, attack Pac-Man. But the main difference is if they hit Pac-Man, that's game over. They're essentially their own ghosts. So the more we avoid them, the better.
Yeah, you do not want to touch these red jammers. That's an instant death.
And you might notice that they pause there for a bit. So every time you eat a power pellet, it has more effects than just turning the ghosts blue. They'll also make all of the white jammers on screen disappear, and in addition to that, they will make the red jammers pause. So it's a good way to kind of control all the chaos. So power pellets are a very, very, very useful part of this game. And we make the most use of them as possible.
Looking good so far.
Yep.
Top 10, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, so you might notice from round to round, the power pellet timer gets a little bit faster each time. Like I have a little bit less time of safety before the ghosts turn back to normal. Yeah, so that's one of the...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
I was going to say that you might notice here that while the power pellets make the red jammers to causes the red jammers to pause, eating the fruit will actually cause them to disappear.
Yep, so the power pellets affect both of the types of jammers in different ways, but the fruit only affects the red ones.
Yes.
So that is something you need to keep in mind as you play. Alright. They're in frenzy mode right now. Nice. Yeah, we'll explain frenzy mode a little bit later. Like, yeah, essentially what it is when the ghosts all turn around at once. Man, it's been top 4 for a while.
Yeah, it has been.
Maybe got some snipers in here.
Yeah. Yeah, also, if any of you guys at home wants to join us, please feel free to snipe. The more the merrier, I always say.
It's fairly easy, too. Just queue in maybe 2 seconds before, 2 seconds after, even, and you're likely to be in the same lobby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a good amount of leniency with when it allows people to get in. So I guess one thing we can start to cover now is the different ways to target people. Mm-hmm. If we want to talk about that real quick. So on the right, you can see there are 4 different ways you can target people: counter, random, hunter, and knockout. Counter is usually what I gravitate towards most of the time, and that basically just means you attack whoever is attacking you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Perfect!
Nice.
First game victory, let's go.
Nice, let's go.
Alright. Oh, it was a computer in second, nice. Alright, cool.
That could have been close.
Yeah, alright, next game, let's get into it. But, yeah, so in terms of targeting people, counter basically just attacks everyone who's targeting you. Random is random, as you might expect. Big surprise there. Then there's also knockout, which will target whoever is closest to getting knocked out, which we don't know to this day what the game actually considers close to getting knocked out, but it apparently works, so it is what it is. And then finally, we've got Hunter, which essentially just targets whoever is doing the best based on how many badges they have. We can talk about badges in a bit, but instead let's change topics to the different game styles. So on the left, you can kind of see the different game styles. So there's stronger, there's standard, there's speed, and there's train. Do one of you guys want to talk about the pros and cons of each?
Yep, I'll go on to speed. So speed makes you go quite a lot faster, but the trade-off of red jammers going faster and you being in general weaker.
Yeah, so like your attacks won't be nearly as powerful. It's like every time, let's say I eat a combo of 10 ghosts in a row. Now if I was on standard or something, I might send 10 jammers to people. But if I'm on speed, that might only send like, 7? Something like that. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you switch to train, when you go through the sleeping ghosts, like, you know, they all add ghosts to the end of other ghosts to form those trains. But if you have the train effect active when you go through the sleeping ghosts, you'll actually double the amount of ghosts that get sent to the ghost train. But the trade-off there is every time you eat, I believe it's 2 ghosts, or I'm sorry, go through 2 sleeping ghosts, it will spawn a white jammer. And as a further trade-off, the white jammers actually stick to Pac-Man longer than usual if you have train active as well.
Exactly.
So that's something you have to watch out for.
Yeah, you don't want to have train on the entire time.
Yeah, and then stronger is one of the ones I will not be using today. because, in my opinion, it's the worst. So, as you might expect, it does make your attacks stronger, so you'll send way more jammers to people if you have it active. But every time you activate it, it will make the power pellet timer last only 3 seconds. So you don't have very long to build combos. And on top of that, it will permanently decrease your speed level by 1. So since I like prioritizing my speed, and this is ESA of course, so we like to go fast, that's not great. It has its uses, but I just refuse to use it.
I only ever use it on round 1.
Yeah.
No other rounds.
Yeah, another thing we should probably touch up on is you only change game styles anytime you go through a power pellet, so it doesn't immediately shift to speed when I want it to.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like right there, since I had speed active as I ate that power pellet, that told the game, oh, okay, you want to play the speed style. Nice.
Yeah, it does not work by pressing the button to change your playstyle while not eating the power pellet. So it only activates as soon as you eat the power pellet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very nice like that.
Yeah.
We should also probably talk about badges. So if you're familiar with Tetris 99 at all, this game also has a badge system. So in Tetris 99, you collected badges by knocking people out. Every time you got one, it boosted your defense as well as your offense. Whereas in this game, it only increases your defense. Like, they're literally called defensive badges in this game. So with each badge you get, you're essentially safe from getting sent to jammers. So if you look at the jammer gauge at the bottom, actually I'm going to focus here, Main, if you want to take this.
Yeah, I'll take this one. So if everybody takes a look at the jammer gauge at the bottom, it looks like a yellow bar right below the board. There's a count there. I believe it's 16. So a count of 16 will fill up that jammer gauge. And you can see as well the badge count. Slime has about 3 badges right now. The defense badges, the way they work, is that, wow, I'm so
that was
the
really
game that you have right now.
Go on, go on.
Good job.
Yeah, he has about 3 badges right now. The defense badges work as a threshold. As long as the attack jammers in the jammer gauge surpass this threshold, they could appear on your board. If they do not pass the threshold, they will not appear on your board, and that's how that defense works. So you do want more badges so that your defense is increased. I'm just in awe of this gameplay right now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so like, the most you can block at once is 8 jammers, or a combo of 8. Let's go, baby, 2 for 2.
Let's go.
Oh, good job.
Let's go.
Yeah, the most jammers you can block is 8. So if you send a combo of 9 or more, that's guaranteed to send stuff to people, even if they're full on badges. So that's essentially how that works. As we get into this next game here, Mod, I'm sure you're sitting on some lovely donations right now.
Well, I can definitely talk about some stuff to do with donations, like a charity that you all lovely people are donating for, and we are currently sitting at $53,747 that go to Save the Children. Save the Children was the first global organization devoted solely to serving children's needs and securing their rights. They are often the first or only child-focused organization working in the hardest-to-reach places where it's toughest to be a child. As a result, Save the Children's teams have been proactive in preparedness for pandemic threats. A bit about what they can do with the money that you donate. Like $500 can provide a child-friendly spaces kit in the US to ensure children in a shelter during an emergency have a safe place to play and be kids. Or $1,000 can pay for the construction of a village school, giving the gift of education to children who might otherwise not be able to access it. And speaking of villages, if we, by the end of this marathon, so by the end of the last run, which is GeoGuessr, reach $60,000 in total, we will have a bonus run of Resident Evil Village. So we do want to get there. So please keep your keep your donations coming. Thank you.
Yeah, please keep them coming, guys. It's a really great cause. Alright, so I think it's time we address the elephant in the room. You guys may have noticed that in the early game, all I do is chill in this part of the map here. And that's mainly because I use the stall strats for this game. Now, there are a couple different strategies you can use throughout the entire game. I prefer to stall, though. So, like we mentioned earlier, the later into the rounds you get, the shorter the power pellet timer will be. So like the less time you have to go and eat the ghosts and the less time you have for guaranteed safety from them. So what I like doing is stall in to make sure we don't reach those rounds too quickly. Now some people actually prefer to clear as many boards as they can and get all the speed boosts they possibly can in that time, so they're more prepared for if they go to the later rounds. But me personally, I prefer to not get to the later rounds at all, and that's why I prefer stalling. And the reason you can stall in that part of the map there is actually kind of tied into the original Pac-Man, where you, it has these certain safe spots. So like, in the original Pac-Man, the ghosts can't immediately go up through those two corridors right above the ghost house once they leave. So like, they can't go up this way. They can only come from the top and going down. So by standing in that part of the map, all I really need to do is watch what the ghosts are doing above me to know if I need to leave or not. Which is very nice, to an extent.
So that only applies in the first minute and a half or so? Is that correct?
First minute and a half, yep.
Yeah, so for the first minute and a half of each game, the main ghosts are not allowed to go up and down those T intersections, quote unquote. And then after that minute and a half, you will see blue-green arrows that indicate that those ghosts are allowed to go there.
Yeah, this game actually like has some like really, whoo, boy.
Oh.
What were we saying?
We were talking about the arrows.
Before my eyes real quick. Yeah, so like there are certain time intervals you need to watch out for in this game because they're like very consistent. So like after a minute, I mentioned earlier that the white jammers, when they first show up, are totally stationary. After you're 1 minute into each game, that's when they'll start moving. And that will always happen a minute into the game. After 2 minutes have passed, that's when the red jammers can show up. And then after a minute and a half is when the stall-in trick where, hey, the ghost won't follow you into that part of the map from both ways, that no longer can be done. So at that point, we actually do need to move around so we don't get knocked out by the ghosts. And there are a couple of other ones too, like sometimes white jammers will spawn randomly even if no one attacks you. And they will, that's kind of like an anti-camping mechanism that the game has built into it. Where like every 30 seconds from the 2 minute mark onward, a bunch of white jammers will spawn usually in whatever quadrant of the maze Pac-Man is in. And they can be pretty annoying because they'll like spawn just out of nowhere sometimes and you can't really do anything about it. And if you're in a quadrant that doesn't have a power pellet, then you might be screwed if there are any ghosts nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little tip to think about is that if you do aim to clear the full board of all pellets, you want to go quadrant by quadrant. That's what you want to do at least. I know I've seen some people play this game and they've just been zooming around and collecting pellets kind of frantically.
Yeah, which you do need to collect pellets if you want the fruit to spawn. Yeah, because the fruit only spawns once half of the maze is clear of pellets. Yes, like right now the fruit isn't there, and that's because like only one quadrant is clear. So of course we have most of the pellets still on the board. Okay, this is a little sketch. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Everything is fine.
There are people in the chat that are mentioning that this game, or reminding us to tell you guys that this game is free, actually. It is Pac-Man 99 is free on Nintendo on the Nintendo Store. There are these skins of the boards that are not like you can see right now that this is not the main Pac-Man board that we are all familiar with, right? So this is one of the skins that you can.
Okay, I'm glad I got to show that off. Okay, so it looked there that like I just directly hit Pinky. I think it was Pinky, or like one of the jammers or something, and I survived. So that right there is called a corner dodge. If you turn a corner at just the right time as you're passing through a red jammer or a ghost, you can corner dodge through it because the hitboxes don't technically overlap there. And that actually is a feature that kind of, sort of, in its own way, used to be in the original Pac-Man. Well, still is in the original Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad I got to show that off, because like that is not easy to do.
Yeah,
like, at the lowest
that part
speed,
is all about timing.
Yeah, because at the lowest speed, you have 1 frame to pull that off. My goodness.
I've gotten it in straight hallways before, so I think it is got a bit of randomness too.
Definitely.
Do we have time for donations?
Go for it.
Wonderful. We do have $25 from Anonymous without a message and $20 from Legend Hoa without a message. Thank you very much. And we have $5 from Dragonis saying, awesome event like always. So happy to be here again. Thanks for all the hard work and thanks to the runners as well. Keep it going, guys. Put this to RE Village. Let's get that RE Village run, guys. Yes, I do agree with that. Let's get that RE Village run. It is
Definitely.
a $60 total amount that we need to get. So how about we give a smaller milestone for now and let's say get 54.5 by the end of this run. So let's go, chat. We can do it.
Let's do it, guys, I believe. Yeah, the more ESA, the better, so let's get that extra run.
Yeah.
I guess this would be a good time to talk about the different ghost behaviors, too. So if you're familiar with the original Pac-Man, you might know that all the ghosts have their own behaviors that they like to follow. So like Blinky is like always the most aggressive. He'll try to, just make a beeline for Pac-Man most of the time. Pinky in general will try to cut him off, so like she'll go wherever he's facing most of the time. And then Inky is just weird and will like try to do funky stuff with Blinky. And Clyde in this game, I swear they changed his AI to be like kind of like Blinky, kind of random, to just 100% random. Because like his movement so like often just does not make any sense. And it's because of that actually that most of the time when I get ghost trains like this one, I don't want it to be Clyde, because a lot of the time when you eat a power pellet, Clyde will just be on the opposite end of the map. And if he has the train, then it's like really hard to get combos with it, because then you have to go all the way over to wherever he is. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, and the ghost trains, when you eat the sleeping ghost, will automatically go to the closest ghost.
In proximity, yes.
Exactly. Or if all of the ghosts are in the ghost house at the time, they'll just go to Blinky, because why not?
Automatically, yeah.
Yep.
Which is convenient. It really, really helps to know these behaviors, so that you can calculate your path and your strategies for the upcoming boards. You can see here as well that not all boards are completely full. You're gonna encounter a lot of 3/4 boards. You're gonna encounter full boards. You're even going to encounter an empty board, which is also great because you get a free speed upgrade there because the board is already clear.
Yep, it's like a no work speed boost.
Yeah,
it's like the game just decides to throw you a bone. Though on that note, like everybody in the same lobby does get the same maze patterns in the same order. Mm-hmm. So if you get to that round, then you know that anyone else who has also gotten to that round has gotten a speed boost.
Exactly.
One thing I'm doing here, by the way, is I'm when I get to ghost trains, a lot of the time I'll try to eat like 1 or 2 ghosts at a time instead of just like blazing through, and that is another stall tactic. We call it pecking in the community. Since you're just kind of like pecking away at the ghosts instead of like blazing through, because if you like just go straight through a chain, then it won't take like any time at all to get through. But if you like only do 1 or 2 at the time, there is a little bit of a cooldown for like when the pace you eat the ghosts picks up. So like I'll try to in a bit here, assuming Pinky cooperates and gets over here. I will try to show off what happens. Yeah, here we go. So like if you just go straight through like that, you notice that's a lot quicker than just like going for 2 at a time. So that's a really great way to like run out the clock a bit and like avoid getting to the later rounds.
Yeah, you can see there's a lot going on in these boards, and it takes a lot of focus to just try to survive. But if you can also see, whenever you get that power pellet, there is a timer that counts down. That's right on top of the ghost house right there. It just counts down. It gets, like Slam mentioned earlier, it gets shorter and shorter with each round. But you could use that to your advantage as you're pecking away at the ghost train.
Yeah, because like once the timer gets low enough, every time you eat a ghost, it will increase the amount of time you have, like it did right there. And there. Yeah, so it's kind of just like an a mechanism to make sure that if you are going through a ghost train that, it doesn't wear off like when you're halfway through. Because that would be no fun if you're just in the middle of a bunch of ghosts when it goes off. Like it will be here. Yes! Dude, not a single loss so far. Let's go.
No, you got the 1 second. You got the 1 second.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Earlier.
Yeah, top 2. Not a single game that has gone out of the top 2 so far. Yeah. All right. So now, so far, you guys have seen me play with 2 hands. But have you ever seen someone play with only 1? And if not, today is your lucky day. So while I move my webcam real quick, Mod, do you have anything to tell us right now?
Oh, I can talk a bit more about what's coming up next. Because after this wonderful showcase of Pac-Man 99, we will also have some more, some more strategic gaming, some more dexterity gaming with Tetris Effect connected. So do look forward to that as well. But before we get to that, as I said, I do want to get to those $45,500 by the end of this run. So please, chat, make it happen. Because did you know that if you donate, you can also win prizes? Because that's what you can do. We do have some wonderful prizes for you to win. Like for a $10 minimum donation, you can get a Bomberman Perla Beat Sprite. Or for a $30 minimum donation, a This Is The Run custom ESA themed Nintendo Switch Pro controller. It looks really awesome. You might have seen it in the box below the webcam. It's scrolling through there. Or you can go to prizes.esamarathon.com to watch all of the prizes that we have there with their respective minimum donation. And these are all accumulative. So if you've already donated like $5 and you want that Pro controller, then it's just another $25 for you to get in the running for that.
Perfect. Alright, so fortunately a lot of this game is already one-handed, since most of it is just moving around the maze with the D-pad or the left stick. I prefer to use the D-pad personally, but to each their own. So all you really need the right Joy-Con for is changing who you target, which I pretty much always stick with counter anyway. And changing your gameplay style. It's like anytime I want to switch from, from train style to speed style, I'll be using that. So like speed, train, simple stuff like that. Unfortunately, since the first, minute and a half or so is just, waiting around here, it's a pretty chill start to the game anyway. Oh yeah, right there. So the ghosts turn around like that. We call that frenzy mode. I think the technical term is scatter mode from the original Pac-Man. But yeah, I believe it's 25 seconds, all the ghosts will turn around, which indicates that they have entered frenzy mode. And when they do that, they all try to go to their respective corners, and each of them have their own. So Pinky's in the upper left, Blinky's in the upper right, etc. And so they'll try to go to their corners, like they are right now. Yes, they all kind of
scattered off to where they feel at home. So when they do that, you're relatively safe from the middle of the map, since unless you're in their way on their way to their corner, they're not gonna hang around there for long. But frenzy mode only lasts like 5 seconds, so you do need to be a little careful you don't get too comfortable. Because like once frenzy mode's over, they will turn around again, and if you're not ready for that, then it can be a bad time overall.
It's messed me up a lot, I can tell you that.
And another aspect we can talk about is Cruise Elroy. This is another kind of advanced part of the original Pac-Man, where if there are few enough pellets on the screen, Blinky will enter a state called Cruise Elroy, which basically means he will start to move faster than usual, and in addition to that, he won't be affected by frenzy mode at all. It's like he won't, meander off to his own corner or anything like that. Like, no, he will just like always try to make a beeline for Pac-Man.
Yeah, just to clarify, frenzy mode, players can take advantage of frenzy mode because the ghosts won't necessarily be following their own programming, aka Blinky won't be chasing you, or Pinky won't be trying to get ahead of you. So you can take that opportunity to maybe clear some more pellets, make your way to another power pellet, and also just to clarify, it helps to know. We already mentioned it helps to know the behaviors of these ghosts, and I think a lot of people are confusing Blinky with the blue ghost. But Blinky, when we say Blinky, we mean the red ghost. So Blinky is the red ghost, Inky is the blue ghost, and then there's Pinky, who is the pink ghost, and Clyde is the orange ghost.
Yeah, Pinky's the hard one to remember.
True there.
Alrighty. Nice, getting some KOs up in here. Love it, love it. Switch to speed. Yeah, usually when I play one-handed, I will tend to, once we get to the top 10 or however many people, I'll just stick with speed. Another thing I want to be careful of is that if you're on your last power pellet, you really, really, really don't want to accidentally pause a red jammer right on top of the fruit, because that's the only way to get rid of them, and if, they're right on top, then, well, you kind of just have to wait for it to move, and if there are ghosts afoot, which there always are, then, yeah, it's not particularly easy. Thank you. Alright,
nice.
So
We still have a bit of time left. This ESA, let me fix my webcam again. There we go. Lovely. And one very nice part about the DLC is that you get private matches. And this came for free in Tetris 99, but you do have to pay for it here. But if you at home have the DLC, this is absolutely your time to shine and potentially play a game on ESA. So if you at home have the DLC, please feel free to hop in. So we're just gonna set, a random password. Let's go 5, then 19, then 1, and then 99. So if you guys want to join, now's your chance.
Get in there. You want to get in there.
Yeah. I just want to point out that that code right there, 5191, has absolutely nothing to do with alphanumeric code at all.
Sarcasm.
I mean, come on, what could the numbers 5, 19, and 1 have to do with anything?
I can't think of anything.
Oh, I don't know, but do we have time for donations? Because I
We
have more
absolutely
numbers
do.
here. Wonderful. We do have $20 from Mr. Mini without any comment, but thank you very much. We have $50 from Ugo saying, what was this about Resident Evil Village? I think we can get closer to that. And we have a whopping $200 from Papa Torren saying, waited so long for this event. Good luck, all runners. Much love. And we have an additional 20 from Legend Hoa saying, let's go. And with that, we are over $54,000.
Let's go,
Thank
guys.
you very much for that. So my personal goal was 54,500 at the end of this run. We still need $413 for that. Can we get that during this final match? Please make it happen, chat. Please.
Let's do it. Yeah, so the nice thing about 799 at the end of the passwords for each lobby is that it will completely get rid of the computer players. If lobbies aren't full enough in general for the public lobbies, they will just fill the rest of the slots with computers. But since we took the computers out, we immediately started the top 10 with 8 players, so thank you everyone who decided to join. You're all wonderful people. Yeah, so you can kind of hear that the music just like immediately started to play the top 10 stuff.
Immediately intense.
Mm-hmm. No one is safe.
As someone who has played this game a lot, it is a bit misleading to my own brain to hear this song at this point of the match, because this is usually top 10 and my brain just goes into overdrive. So instead of starting off with the normal song in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like the ghosts are moving faster or anything either. It's like, yeah, no, they're going the same speed they do in normal games.
Exactly. Yeah, so my brain would be freaking out for no reason because this is just round 1.
Yeah, so a lot of the times when I decide to attack, I will typically switch to either standard or train, since, like we said before, speed will actually make your attacks weaker.
Now, does train affect your attack as well? Or does it
I don't think so. I think, like, train and standard have the same attack power.
Okay.
Like, stronger is obviously the strongest, but I like not going slow and having plenty of time on the power pellet, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot to this game. Like, a lot of people, myself included, even though I understand most of it, agree that this game really needs some kind of user manual to figure out, like, how to play.
Yeah, because when it released, at least here in the US, there was zero manual. We had to figure it out ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we think we have most of it figured out. Yeah, it's not like, you know, an easy pick up and play like, you know, Tetris 99s. It's like, oh, you know, stack blocks and clear them out.
Yeah.
One thing I think we also glossed over was the fact that with the red jammers, whenever they unpause, they will always either go up or to the right once they can start moving again. So if you see me getting like really close to them when the power pellet's about to run out, you might be thinking, oh man, he's like that close, isn't he in danger? Well, if I'm to the left or below them, then I'm totally safe. The one exception is if they're in an intersection or on a corner, and in those cases, yeah, they can just decide to go down or to the left for reasons.
Yes, that's another huge thing to know and take advantage of, especially when you are in literally tight corners and you're surrounded by red jammers or ghosts. Just knowing that behavior alone will be able to get you out of that situation.
Mm. I think I still have the power pellet down here, right? Yeah. You know, one of the worst things in this game is like when you like are chilling in a corner that like a ghost train is going through, but it's blocking where one of the power pellets is, and you're thinking, wait a minute, did I eat that power pellet already? And then you go through and the ghost didn't turn blue, and then like everybody is, nobody's happy. Come on.
You can also see here with the way that Slam is, maneuvering
gosh.
through the board, there are instances where either the jammer or the ghost is not completely in the lane here. Like he mentioned before, the hitboxes are fairly generous. You could, and that's a reason why you're also allowed to do what was it you mentioned? Was it a graze? Was it the graze or was it the perfect?
The corner dodging.
The corner dodging, yes.
All right, let me just get some of this out of the way. Okay. Oh, unfortunate. Unfortunate. Third place, though.
Good try.
Oh, Mr. Mini got me out. Yeah, shouts to Mr. Mini.
Who's going to be the winner?
Who can say? Who can say? But yeah, while this game wraps up, I just want to give out some quick shout-outs. So, first off, thank you to Dan and Maine for being my co-commentators. I really appreciate... Yo, A1, GG. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys being here. They're both great players, so you guys should definitely give them a follow on Twitch. That's AMA Dan and Captain Maine. They're great people, great players. So shouts to them. Thank you guys for being here. I also want to shout out Pink Sal, who was supposed to be one of my co-commentators, but sadly could not make it work, so shout outs to her. And also, just a couple names here. Crowdy, John Nash, Big Joe, High Score Wins, Josh, Legend Hoa, Master A1, Mr. Danger, Mr. Mine, Pinheads, Roncley, Secret Play, Space Fitment. You guys are all awesome. They've been very supportive of this game getting into ESA, so just thanks to all of you. Also, big shout out to the Japanese community. This game has a very, very strong Japanese community, and I definitely want to shout them out because they are some insanely good players, so those guys are awesome too. And of course, thanks to ESA for allowing us to do this. This has honestly been a surreal experience. I've been watching ESA for years, so being able to show a game on the big stage has been absolutely wonderful. So thank you guys for having me. One quick thing I want to plug here is that Dan and I have actually recently started a Pac-Man 99 league. So if any of you are interested in maybe joining that, let one of us know. We'll hook you up. It doesn't matter what your skill level is. You could have been playing this game since day one. You could have just recently got into it. Doesn't matter. We'd love to have you. So yeah, definitely feel free to ask one of us about that soon.
Yeah.
Guys, did you have anything you wanted to plug?
No, I think I'm good.
No? Yeah, I'm good.
Any shouts you wanted to
Yeah,
make?
thanks
Nothing?
for having us.
Thank
All right,
you
perfect. Yeah, if
so
you
much for that showcase. It was really awesome to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys like this game, I do stream it regularly on my channel. We do private lobbies, public lobbies, the whole shebang. So if you guys are interested in that, consider giving a follow, maybe. But for now, enjoy the rest of the marathon. And thanks for having us again.
Again, thanks for the showcase. Thanks for the commentary, Dan and Captain Mang. It was really awesome. I really enjoyed this. And now we will have a quick intermission where our very own Polister will tell you to buy some merch at the start. And then we will be back with Jude Soft playing Tetris Effect Connected. So stay tuned.
Right on.